This is how all this gets started. Working on seats. I managed to, I'll just go ahead and plug this in the beginning. My air box was going to be in my road. I wasn't going to be able to steer, so this is the throttle body for the fuel injection. I run another line up and into the air box and mount on my air box solid there. Unfortunately, it's not as far forward enough to actually fit under the stock bodywork, so there's going to be some cutting there to cut out around the original bodywork that goes up over. But here's what I'm starting in on today. Seat blanks. These are backs. These two are the backs. You can see I already got started. I laid out the seat portion, the bottom portion, and got that pan bent already. I know that. Here's my sheet metal brake. It's just a couple boards and a hammer and some beam clamps. I will progress through this and keep you up to speed, and maybe we'll have a couple seats finished before this is over. This is how I finger brake the back, or the bottom. This bottom's got this lip on it, which when the back comes down into it, I just pop rivet it together, and that's when I bring these in and tweak them to fasten it, just to make an aluminum pan. I don't have rollers or any way to dimple die or anything. These, I mean, they're pretty stiff. They're not the most beautiful seat, but they hold me in place. That's the ones that's in the 750. These I'm going to do a little different, where this is higher and that's lower. I think I figured out that I don't need this. I'm going, this is low and this is higher, and I'm going to bring these wings out a little further into my back, and I'm not going to make the back as wide either. That way it grips my body a little bit better and I don't roll around in there. I'm progressing slow but sure. These are the seat bottoms. This is a seat back, laid out and cut. I've got one more blank. I've got to mark and cut, and then I'll get these broke, and then we'll start with assembly. Here's a shot of the back part of the seat frame in my brake. I'm beating the hell out of it, bending the sides down. Some of this is just like a guess as to what I want the top to look like. This may end up getting trimmed and everything, and it all depends on how easy it is to make my seat pads, to put the seat pads in. I mounted those on plywood and put them in. I think I may do the same thing, but instead of making them in segments, I want to make them all, the back piece of vinyl, one piece of vinyl, and the front, one piece of vinyl. Alright, assembly will be next up. There's one mock-up. I'm going to start putting pop rivets across the bottom here. I get that fastened in, then I'll decide. I'll take it over and put it in the buggy and decide how much angle I want back on the seat, and then I'll run pop rivets down through here. And if I don't like the way that this is flat completely, I've actually considered splitting this and actually letting the two overlap. I can only do it with one hand, but letting the two overlap, and then I can put pop rivet. That way that seat cushions you in there a little better. Or just leave it flat and make the foam one thickness all the way out, and then glue a wedge in before I put the seat cover on. The one thing that I do is, this is I believe it's 22 inches. it was 21, but by the time you break it and put the back piece in, it's 21. But that means that seat comes right out underneath the back of your knees. Your knees aren't hanging out like these little teeny tiny seats that you get, which I don't like. But let's get to putting rivets in this thing and see if we can't finish the seats. Okay, that's a seat pan done. Just riveted together. I know some people have said that you can buy razor seats, but kind of like these. They wrap around me a little bit better. 2 of those down. Now I got to turn this pile here of aluminum tubing. Is going to be my seat frame. Well, that's the seat tub. These will be the seat frames. Frames will be fastened solid to the seats. The plan here is this bottom tube here will have like a socket welded to it, and a socket welded to here. That frame is going to drop down in that, hook over this, go under the seat frame, and have 2 triangular braces. That way the seats weigh almost nothing with the frame included, and then all I've got is one small, probably just one bolt right here. I can take that bolt out and I can just lift the whole seat frame and everything out if I need to get into work on anything. And it requires no tools to take it out. So I'm going to call that the end of this one, because I'm going to have to rustle up some foam and vinyl and some kind of backing for the foam and vinyl pads that go in, and do a little practicing with my TIG to weld up the aluminum frames, because I don't want to just miter those and bolt them or pop rivet them. I want to actually weld them together and then bolt them solid to the seats. So that is seat construction, not complete, but it gives you an idea of what all's involved. Till the next one.